Mellow greetings, everybody. My name is James. I'm from the internet. Today we are going to be talking about pride and supremacy. Now, for those of you who have been keeping track, the Proud Boys, one of our favorite hate groups here in the United States of America, has had a busy couple of months. Just last week, one of the leaders of the Proud Boys, Joe Biggs, had his lawyer argue in court that he should neither be held in jail awaiting trial for his participation in the January 6th insurrection, but that he should not even be charged with crimes because he is currently working as an informant for multiple federal agencies. And this comes on the heel of reports just a few months ago that the Proud Boys' ultimate leader, Enrique Tarrio, has also been working as a government snitch for a lot of years. So you would think the Proud Boys would perhaps be quieter boys and, take it down a couple of notches while they're dealing with all of these high-profile legal cases. Yeah, they didn't do that. Instead, they decided to do this. We stand together. White Lives Matter, all major city centers. Join us to march and rally Sunday, April 11th. It's time to take a stand against black people. And for those of you who might be sitting at home going, how do you know the Proud Boys did that? The Proud Boys, they're just proud Western chauvinists, and they're a men's club, and they're not a hate group, and you just say these things because, you're a libturd. Well, let me show you how you put together a series of events like this. And then, when I'm done, if you still feel that I'm speaking out of turn, calling the Proud Boys a white nationalist hate group, go ahead, feel free to come at me. But first, take a little gander. Exclusive leak chat show Proud Boys integral to planning White Lives Matter rallies. What? I am shocked. Shocked, I tell you. Shocked. Two self-identified Proud Boys have been involved in the internal planning for a set of simultaneous White Lives Matter rallies scheduled for Sunday, according to chat logs leaked to the media. The association with the White Lives Matter rallies, which are promoting overly white supremacist messages about a supposed white genocide, is a liability for the Proud Boys, a violent, proto-fascist group that claims to be non-racist. The leaked chats show that a Proud Boy responsible for organizing the Michigan White Lives Matter rally went to some effort to hide the fact that members of his group are involved in the effort. Just a quick observation here. If you're going to be in a group called the Proud Boys and you're, proud of you and your boys, I think you would want to have full ownership of all the shit that you do. And you would be, proud of your actions. The Telegram user Telly Savalas, who is the admin for the White Lives Matter Michigan channel, expressed concern on April 5th about a user named Bama Patriot who wrote POYB with an AOK emoji. Those are signifiers associated with the Proud Boys. For those of you not in the know on the current internet slang of white nationalists and white supremacists, POYB means proud of your boy. It's something that the Proud Boys say to each other after they beat up gay people in the streets or march through a college campus in khaki shorts, carrying torches, chanting blood and soil. These are the things that they're proud of their boy about. But I digress. Let me finish telling you the rest of the story about this totally not white nationalist organization that was organizing totally not white nationalist rallies around the country. Quote, I've been trying to tell guys to get that shit off their profile, Telly Savalas said in the private admin group chat for the White Lives Matter March. Plus, I've been getting kicked in my balls every day about this thing. The chats were provided to Raw Story by a group called Corvallis Anti-Fascists. I briefly covered this in our Joe Biggs video last week, but again, I will repeat it for those of you who might not have seen it. White nationalists will pretty much let anybody into their groups as long as you are at least white presenting. Tell them that you hate libturds and that you're totally not racist and you don't hate black people. You just think America would be better if more white people lived and hung out with just other white people. It's really that easy. Another Proud Boy posting under the name JW, who was responsible for organizing the Western Kansas rally, said that he leads a whites-only chapter of the Proud Boys. JW made the declaration during a spat with another participant in the admin chat, who insulted the Proud Boys for being insufficiently racist. Quote, in my opinion, anyone who is concerned about the Proud Boys or tries to attach explicitly pro-white efforts to them is usually a shit lib. Project Algiz wrote. You, sir, are a fucking idiot that apparently knows nothing about how things work, JW angrily responded. Attempting to mediate, admins of the White Lives Matter zone admonished, keep it elegant, gents. We know many Proud Boys are pro-white. And like we said before, all pro-whites are welcome. Groups don't matter. Spoken like a true brown shirt organization within a much larger umbrella of other brown shirt organizations. Well played, admins of the White Lives Matter zone. Defending himself against the charge of being too tolerant, JW declared his racist as well as homophobic and transphobic bona fides. Quote, as chapter president, I choose to be white only, he said. And then you can read the rest of the disgusting sentence for yourself. I do not feel the need to parrot everything a bunch of racist white nationalists say. Sometimes it's just enough that I inform you about it. Now, I will continue reading. Project Algiz continued to goad JW by pointing out that the Proud Boys national chairman, Enrique Tarrio, is not white. Quote, once again, motherfucker, you've proven your ignorance. T-shirt Tarrio is no longer in charge of anything. Tarrio could not be reached for comment about whether he still holds the top leadership position in the Proud Boys. Sometime around Trump's loss or the insurrection, based stickman Kyle Chapman came out and declared himself to be a leader of the Proud Boys because the Proud Boys no longer needed to have any brown token leadership in the Proud Boys to serve as a shock absorber of media and left criticism because they had moved past that. I can't make this up, people. I can't. Telegram users with Proud Boys avatars had already expressed enthusiasm about a prospective rally in the Washington, D.C. area, as previously reported by Raw Story. Hampton Russell Ouellette, president of the Northern Virginia chapter of the Proud Boys, signaled his tacit approval for the rally in the public chat for the D.C. Maryland Virginia channel, responding to another Telegram user with a Proud Boys avatar who wrote, quote, fuck Antifa, Proud Boys will be there in plain clothes or not. While saying he wasn't enthusiastic about the rallies, he told Raw Story, but I'll do whatever my brothers decide to do. I voiced my opinion, but loyal to my guys, so it's up in the air. I'm sorry, are you just trying to say you're going along with peer pressure and you aren't actually pro-white, anti-black, anti-immigrant, anti-brown, anti-Asian, anti-anything that isn't white, straight, European dude? Yeah, way to be proud there, buddy. Ouellette acknowledged his involvement with the prospective White Lives Matter rally on March 30th. The following day, Telly Savalas joined the private admins of White Lives Matter Zone chat as the organizer of the Michigan rally. Comments by the anonymous individual or committee behind the White Lives Matter marches reflect a preoccupation with optics to make the rallies palatable to people who are receptive to a message of white victimhood, but put off by overt trappings like swastikas, Klan hoods, and Sieg Heil salutes. Quote, this event should be 110% optical in the sense of no swastikas or anything that puts normies off. Admins of White Lives Matter Zone wrote, this is the chance to engage with normies. The strategy has been met with varying levels of cooperation. Now, if you're sitting at home right now wondering what the hell White Lives Matter is, Proud Boys are, who normies are, and all of this is a little bit, I don't know, outside of your wheelhouse, well, let me tell you something then. you are officially the normie. And these white nationalists, these hate groups, are looking to appeal to you. And they assume that you might be put off by people wearing white hoods or people wearing swastikas. So instead, they're making sure to tell their members, hey, just dress up like, your average Joe white guy. And, just mention how horrible it is that white people get blamed for so many things instead of just leading with, we're the master race. Because if that first part is appealing to you, well then, they have potentially found another member. Ride the Bolts, the user responsible for planning the Raleigh, North Carolina rally, responded, fuck what puts them off. The truth is the truth. My job is to represent my race and say the truth. We shouldn't be trying to make some above ground fascist organization that makes people feel better. For the record, Ride the Bolts refers to the lightning bolt insignias first used by the SS in Nazi Germany. Today, it is used as symbolism by such lovely hate groups as Atomwaffen, who reportedly were also involved in the planning of some of these White Lives Matter events with the Proud Boys. But your Fuhrer, who is organizing one of the two competing rallies in Orange County, Florida, argued against transparency. Quote, some people just really do not understand that there's steps to normalization of nationalist, racialist beliefs. For the record, those are the words of an experienced groomer. They know how to take you normies and slowly groom you into a finely tuned hate machine. These are people who have been at it for a long time. For them, this isn't a hobby. This is their business. This is their job. This is their way of life. Admins of the White Lives Matter zone tasked user Telly Savalas, the Michigan Proud Boy, with writing an OPSEC guide. The central message rally participants should share, Telly Savalas said, is that this is not a white supremacist march. This is supposed to be to bring awareness to the one-sided anti-white coverage of crimes that happen to whites across the country. That's right, my fellow white man. I'm not racist. I, too, am just Joe Sixpack who works really hard and wants to take care of his family and then comes home after a long day of work and turns on the news and sees another story about some fine, upstanding white person being canceled by the left for something they said 15 years ago, and they probably didn't even mean it. Isn't that horrible what's happening to these poor white people? Here, take a flyer. So now that we know that actual members of the Proud Boys are actually coordinating with actual Nazis and fascists, and word of that leaked out, I wonder how many of the normies turned out for the rallies. Let's check. White Lives Matter rallies flop as hardly anybody shows up. Damn, NBC, hype on the coverage. Apparently, one person showed up at the New York City protest outside of Trump Tower. That's him in the bottom of the screen. That's literally the one white nationalist who came out in New York. Now, to be fair, because there were a lot of protests scheduled this weekend, there were a lot of cops working extra overtime, wearing their uniforms, driving their squad cars. So, a lot of them couldn't attend to personal matters or gatherings. You get the idea. Even TMZ covered the level of ass kicking that Nazis, racists, and white nationalists received at the hands of normies and leftists. But fear not, white nationalists. Your weekend was not a total wash. Granted, you couldn't get more than 20 people around the country to come out and hold up signs or, complain about black people. But your national spokesperson still managed to hit the airwaves to deliver a little message to all you fine boys and girls at home.
Now, I know that the left and all the little gatekeepers on Twitter become literally hysterical if you use the term replacement, if you suggest that the Democratic Party is trying to replace the current electorate, the voters now casting ballots, with new people, more obedient voters from the third world. But they become hysterical because that's what's happening, actually. Let's just say it, that's true.
"You will not replace us" is a white supremacist slogan that became popular again in early 2017. The slogan appeared on white supremacist flyers, banners, and graffiti in a variety of places in the first 6 months of 2017, gaining wider attention when white supremacists used the phrase at several rallies held in Charlottesville, Virginia, culminating in the large and violent Unite the Right event in 2017. For the record, this was a term that the Nazis broke out, and they wrote it for a decade as their excuse for rounding up all the Jews and the Marxists and anybody else that they thought was trying to replace their master race and their single unified belief in a sole ideology operating within an authoritarian fascist regime to rule everybody under their own terms of morality as described and postscribed by them and them alone. Now, leftists and people far over on the left have been warning the rest of society for years that this is a sleeping giant that was awoken by Donald Trump. And there are a lot of people out there who just want to go back to brunch, and they're going to tell you time and time again, that's okay. Joe Biden's in office now. It's a return to normalcy. We're okay. There aren't any real Nazis. They're just, some confused people who just generally hate the left. And it's okay. They're going to go away now that Donald Trump is gone. We're all good. We can go back to brunch. But here's the thing, people. If you go back to brunch, the rest of us have to work harder exposing these people because they're that good at what they do. So maybe, just maybe, it's time to stop poo-pooing the idea that these people are real. And it's time to have some hard conversations with your family, with your friends, with the people in your neighborhood, and all the human beings within your social circle. Because this sort of thing, if it is not stopped, it snowballs out of control. And the next thing you know, you're standing in a public square wearing a brown shirt, saying, it's okay, I'm just following orders. Until next time, my name is James, I am from the internet, and I am out. Peace.